What's going on, guys? Cameron back again from Attack on Anime, here to bring you a fairy tale topic video. Now this one's going to be covering my top 5 strongest Dragon Slayers. Not favorite, but strongest. So I'm going to be going in terms of all of their feats, or at least most of them, and hitting the more important ones, just to prove why I think this list holds up and why I think these people are the strongest. Now, obviously, from 5 out of 8, 3 of them are not going to make the cut. I'll go into it quickly at the end of a little bit of why I don't think they measure up to the other Dragon Slayers enough to top them. But yeah, I definitely love to hear your guys' opinions in the comments below after this. But yeah, at least hear me out. I know I'm gonna anger fans either way of how I make this list, but yeah, I just can't wait to hear your guys' thoughts on it. But yeah, obviously this will contain spoilers for the manga because I'm gonna be trying to keep it as up to date to keep them as at their peak right now. So yeah, just you're warned. But yeah, my number 5 pick is definitely going to be Cobra. Cobra is one of the most dangerous people in all of the magical world because he can hear your thoughts and also hear your movements. He was going to go with Natsu, but Natsu thought of the quick idea, okay, I'm just going to be as loud as I possibly can. And we all know from Fairy Tail that Natsu is one of the loudest people in all of Fairy Tail. I feel like that was just the major thing of why he won against Cobra. A normal person wouldn't have really thought about that, especially since you're thinking about being poisoned all at the same time. There's so many factors that went into Natsu winning with that. That just gives Cobra enough leverage in order to be number 5. But yeah, that's why Cobra's number 5. Number 4 is definitely my personal favorite Dragon Slayer of Gajeel. Gajeel is one of the strongest people and like one of my most favorite people that I've seen in Fairy Tail. His Shadow Iron Dragon mode would definitely put him over a lot of people. But in terms of his strength, I feel like the other 3 people would definitely beat him out in terms of like overall power and overall just resolve and able to handle a lot of hits. Gajeel can definitely take a lot of damage, but these other 3 people have immense magical power and immense ability to just take a lot of damage. But yeah, Gajeel is definitely, like, we've seen him go against a Tartaros demon, the one that poisoned the water, and he was literally fighting while holding his breath. So while Gajeel can definitely take a lot of damage, I feel like the next few people definitely kind of top him a little bit in terms of being able to take damage and also deal it out. Well, without further ado, I'm going to move into my number 3, who I know is Jordan's favorite Dragon Slayer, and that is Laxus. Laxus definitely can take a ton of damage. He can take a ton of damage and definitely deal it back out. In the earlier seasons, we've definitely seen him take on not only Natsu and Gajeel at the same time, but also Mystagon. Also, we've seen him take on an entire Dark Guild of Raventail and beat them all within an inch of their life. We've seen him go toe-to-toe with Jura. Like, there's just the feats just keep going on, and if you even want more, in the most recent chapters, after the Tartaros arc of when he got the poison particles in his body and his organs were literally melted away, he literally went and fought Wall, one of the 12 Spriggans, and then after beating him, a resurrected Prek comes back and he starts fighting him, even though it was for a short time. That still speaks miles for Laxus' ability. And I had trouble placing him in Gajeel because they could have gone either way. I was mostly trying to pit them up against each other to see who would come out on top, essentially. And at the end, I just can't see anyone other than Laxus. Laxus has the potential to be like one of the 10 Wizard Saints, if not surpass them, since he went toe-to-toe with Jura, who was one of the 10 Wizard Saints. But yeah, that is definitely an immense reason why Laxus is number 3. But number 2 is essentially 8 Laxuses put together. It's God Serena himself. Now, I count him as a Dragon Slayer because obviously he has 8 Dragon Lacrimas within him. He is the hybrid theory. Now, I said earlier how Laxus went toe-to-toe with one of the 10 Wizard Saints. This guy took on the 4 kings of Ishgard and took them out in an instant, with it, just overwhelming them with his power. If not for Actilogia, there's no way that they would have won that fight. There's no way that they would have lived through that fight. They didn't even win. They were still knocked out on the ground. He was about to finish them, and Actilogia comes in for the final blow. So in terms of his power level, I feel like the only other Dragon Slayer that can take out God Serena is my number one pick and the obvious pick of Natsu Dragneel. Natsu Dragneel with his Fire Lightning mode and Emperor King Dragon mode. There's just no way that you can take on him with that power, especially if he goes Dragon Force, and which we've only seen a couple times. The fact that he can keep E.N.D's power that he inherited from him just proves that he can like learn as he goes, and he just keeps getting stronger and has the magical resolve to just keep going the good fight. We saw him come in and literally just start taking on Jacob, who was one of the strongest Spriggans. I could go on all day about Natsu's feats and what he's fought through and what he's won through. Like, a lot of it was plot armor moments, but there's still a lot more that was just like, you know, Natsu is literally one of the strongest people to ever walk the magical world. Like, just one feat alone is him soloing the twin Dragon Slayers, who everyone viewed as like some of the strongest to just ever be Dragon Slayers at the time, until Fairy Tail came back, of course. Like, this is gonna go into my last three of who didn't make the list. Obviously, Wendy didn't. Wendy is still on the younger side, so she's not as experienced as the other mages when it comes to fighting. So I don't feel like she could top them until she matures more and gets older. And Sting and Rogue, while I feel like together they are overpowered as hell, they are really strong and they can take on a lot of people together. But I feel like apart, you can't really define them because they're on the same level in my eyes. And seeing that Natsu just soloed them by himself without Gajeel, God Serena could definitely take them out. I know Laxus could, and if Natsu could, then Gajeel could definitely take them out. So you can see why I'm just like eliminating them. And I definitely feel that Cobra could take them out because, like I said, Cobra can read your mind and hear your muscle movements. So that's why my list stands as it is. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts in the comments down below. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe for more content. But until next time, guys, peace.